Hi, Dave. Welcome. Good to see you again. Glad you're here. Hope your weekend's been okay. It's been okay. It's been a lot of video game playing this weekend, a lot more than I'm used to. Trying to get ready for the next live stream and that sort of stuff. So there's been a lot of prep work, a lot of reading forums and watching YouTube videos and playing myself and things like that. But yeah, not a lot of free time for myself, but then again, I'm playing video games. It's not like I shouldn't count that as free time. I enjoy it, so, but it's been okay. It seems to be. Yeah, when I went out to look at it yesterday morning when it happened, I noticed that there was a squirrel that had been pretty cooked laying on the ground out by the incoming power pole to the community. So when they got here, I alerted them to that fact, but evidently there was some residual damage that they had to fix. So it took them a little longer than normal, but it seems like everything is back to normal. Haven't been on UPS power or anything like that here today, so I'm happy for that. This time of year, you know, obviously spring, got a lot of baby animals, especially squirrels and possums and that sort of stuff roaming around on wires and tops of fences and all that sort of stuff, and they tend to get into a little bit of trouble when it comes to interacting with human infrastructure. So it's not uncommon. I wish there was more of a way to prevent it, but doesn't seem to be. The utility seems content to just let it happen and then respond after the fact. But yeah, it seems to be okay now. Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode number 9 of our Avowed Ranger gameplay series. I'm Commander Jarval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, no admin notes on the game that I'm aware of, but we do have an admin note on the channel. If you might be aware that yesterday was the last episode of the Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode playthrough. Finished that up after 53 episodes. I managed to do it rather successfully, I might say, and I've got my golden dice now. But that episode is now completed. There is a poll up right now to gather your opinions about what you would like to see me play next. And right now, Kingdom Come Deliverance is leading by quite a bit in that poll. So barring any major changes here this week, that is what we're going to see. Now I'm going to start with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I am not going to jump into the fairly recently released Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But we're going to start with 1 and work our way through that before we then move into 2 immediately afterward. And that live stream is probably going to start in a couple of weeks. I'm going to take a little time off. I've got some busy things going on during the weekends that I'd like to get caught up on Saturdays. So going to take a little bit of a break from that time slot. And we will have a new live stream that's going to appear during that time. So there'll be an official announcement probably coming up the middle of this week about it. So stay tuned to social media and the post tab on the channel to stay on top of that. So I think that's it for the admin notes. So on our recap, at the end of last week's episode, we were continuing in with the main quest line just a little bit here to kind of get us started inside the city of Fior. And we ended up at a place trying to retrieve a heart for the main quest line, and that heart is being kept by a Demelgen Queen. And we're going to have to sneak in there without killing any of her bodyguards, or else she will immediately become hostile to us. So let's jump in here and we'll kind of take a look at where we are, because I did experiment with this off stream. And we'll see if we can make it work. Okay, now the problem is right there. You know, we have one of the Queen's bodyguards here, and we cannot kill any of her bodyguards. We can kill the other enemies that are around here, though. There are some sporelings that are in the ground up there, and we're not going to be able to sneak past them. There's no way for us to do it. So we're going to get into a fight here. We're going to try and kill the 2 sporelings, and then we are immediately going to run away. We're going to run away, we're going to jump across the bridge over there back to where we were, and that should let us leave combat and kind of reset things. And then we'll be able to sneak past the bodyguard. Okay, so we're going to kind of wait a little bit till the bodyguard moves. And we're going to do our best to kill these 2 sporelings as quick as we can. Here. Our companions do not trigger awareness. It's just us. So I'm not worried about either of them. Now what will happen is that this bodyguard will head back around the corner of that tree. And that's what I want to see. And we're going to jump up here. Okay, and now you can see the sporelings. But the sporelings will not appear until I walk in there. And they can see me. And I want the bodyguard to walk around the side over there to give me more time. And there it goes. Okay, maybe it didn't. This should be good enough, though.
Next one's mine.
Okay, and we are going to run away. And this is going to drag our companions with us. And we'll wait for the alert marker to go away. Okay. So that should be enough. And we only have to do this once. And you'll see why once we get into this. So I'm gonna wait for the bodyguard to turn around. Go the opposite way. And then we're going to sneak past it. Well, let's wait for it to turn around. Let's go. Okay. So there it is behind this stump. Now, what it's going to do is come back around this way, I believe. And what makes this really possible is the armor that I'm wearing that allows me to sneak or move really fast while in sneak mode. Okay, and now we're going to come up here. Okay, so that's the first part done, so I'm going to drop a save. And now here. So there are a couple of
shaping these
enemies down here.
Like a shrine, but for who?
There's a sporling and there's another bodyguard that patrol down here. Okay, there's the sporling and there's the bodyguard. They're both going the same way, so this is actually a really good opportunity to go past them. I don't care about losing health.
You may approach me, God. Ah, a welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. Strange, as this is your home. A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had to stop them before their madness damaged the land. But it is over now. All that remains is their heart. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. Take it, and go in peace.
And that's going to get us the Adrigan Heart.
Let's
Now,
get out of here before
starting the
she notices my
cutscene
wood
with
pistol.
the Demelgen Queen is what, or the Delemgen Queen, is what keeps everybody from going hostile. So now I'm able to fully walk around this area and explore and pick up items in here without fear of any retribution. As part of that, we're going to have a unique chest here for the Garland of the Wild Growths. And this gives us plus 30% resistance to poison accumulation, which in a couple of encounters that we're going to deal with a little bit later can be quite useful. There are a bunch of electric lily seeds around here, and like I say, feel free to explore a little bit now. None of the creatures in here are going to be hostile toward you. And you did see something on our mini-map. And you don't get to it that way. Okay, so I'm going to do some quick little exploring here. Okay, you can't jump up there. It's too high. That's a way down. This is another way to sneak into here. If you are able to make it past, we'll look at it here on the way out. If you're able to sneak past a couple of enemies on this side, you can make your way up and around this side. And then jump down there and you have a straight shot getting into the Queen. This one is easier at the end, but it is much harder at the beginning, and you'll see that here in a second. And here we have another Stain totem piece.
Let's take these things back to camp. You can fiddle with them there.
And that can be a little tricky jump. You tend to hit your head on that when you're coming across it. Okay, and here's what I mean about the tricky part, sneaking past this. We have a bear here. We have a sporling here. The bear's asleep, but the sporling patrols, and you have to kind of sneak from here while it is faced away from you. Sneak around behind it and get in here before the second sporling turns around. Then you have to move to this one while its back is turned. Move over to here and then around. So there's a lot of opportunity to get caught on this side. Not to mention the fact that there is more to this side, because that's only the middle part. The beginning part is here. This is where you enter in. And we have another sporling here, one there, and a bodyguard here. And you have to sneak past all of this just to get to that sneaking part. So it's much, much harder to come in this way than the way that I just showed you. This way it takes some timing. You have to make sure that everybody's facing away from you, and you have to have some health because you're going to take fall damage there, and you don't want to stop. As soon as they're facing the opposite direction, you want to immediately keep going once you fall down here, and jump and continue jumping over there. If they do catch you, if they do see you, then immediately run back this way toward the entrance and do the exact same thing that we did. So you'll pass all of these enemies while they're angry at you. You'll get down here, hop across the bridge, and reset the encounter. Okay? But as soon as you get in there, just trigger the cutscene and all of that hostility will go away. All right? So we have done the first part of the animancy method, but we need to place the heart in the animancy device, and then we're going to consult with Elia, consult with Yvette and Remy really quick. So let's head back to Fior. And we'll turn in this section of the quest. Again, not doing a lot of exploring here in Fior yet. We're going to get to that. Oh, taking it up there above me.
Ado, welcome to my fine flat. For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giatta. With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? Strange. Shouldn't feel anything in the physical sense. No matter. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giatta's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giatta's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted, like the flow of a river.
I keep forgetting to take the potion before conversations. I need to start remembering that.
And risk joining her in exile? No. Without this workshop, we have nothing. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giatta my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find. Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
Okay, so now we have 2 more people that we need to have a conversation with, and neither one of them are here. Both of them are down by the docks, so we're going to fast travel down there. And we're learning more about the mysterious voice. That mystery is going to resolve itself not too far through the main quest line here. While we're here, let's... Then we'll take a charming libation as well. Not this dock.
Did you hear? Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giatta partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giatta must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giatta needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? No need to take offense. We merely seek to learn.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giatta wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Well, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giatta will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Ah, of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else... With enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh soccer, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their
So
minds.
I need to remember to
dozed
turn
off there
off
for a
the
bit.
member
Were
shout
any
out
of those
banner. I
words the
only
ones
started
we
doing
needed?
that this week. And I want to do it. I want to thank my members during the beginning of the live stream. I just keep forgetting to turn it off since it's not part of my normal routine I've been doing for the past couple of years. So I apologize that it was up there. I'll try and be better about it in the future. It happened yesterday and thought about it today when we were talking and then forgot about it. So my fault.
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo.
We encountered Silvio quite a bit ago, and killed him.
You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. Precisely my point. There is something unique at the heart of this. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giatta are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the night.
So the other thing to know about
Really
taking
haven't
those
sleeping entirely
potions
too well
is
lately.
that the timer
I'm remembering
runs
why
while
people
you
find
are
this
in
place unsettling.
conversations as well. So if you're doing this playthrough and you've already been through or you read quite fast, then you might want to fast forward through some of them or else just take the potions more often. For me, I caught the very end of my timer there, but yeah, it can be a little short.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. And every bit of it was critical to our research. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Well, that's where I need your help. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and complete this as well.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
And we're going to get into a fight in here.
Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the Blight. Who grows here?
Okay, and there are a bunch of journal entries in here. And also that that they kind of expected that they weren't going to survive the experiments down here. Okay, more journal entries. Okay, so they were tinkering with the natural order of things, even by their own admission. Okay, so they were wondering what was going to go wrong.
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Okay, and this is them. This is her parents. They have been transformed by the essence here in the Living Lands.
Gods. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giatta. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I thought we got
I
into
don't.
a fight down here.
Anyone know what happened back
Yes,
there?
we don't.
I think those were Giatta's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods. I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? Nothing so malicious, but no less cruel. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands, and it destroyed her. My father, our family.
People are too quick to risk everything for an ideal. I'm sorry it didn't work out for your family.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened. I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fior. There should be some equipment waiting for us. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fior. No telling how long we'll be gone. I almost forgot. Someone gave me a letter for you. They said it was for the envoy's eyes alone. You, my new friend, are full of surprises. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
So you're only allowed to have 2 companions with you at any one time. So for Giatta to join you, somebody's going to have to go back to camp, and I'm going to send Marius back to camp.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.
Okay, and now Giatta has a couple of abilities, and we're going to level her up as well. She has a purification wave that heals you by 25%, and she also has spectral jolt, so we don't need that as much. We have the electrical damage from Karok's Pride to be able to trigger things, but just like Kai can use fire damage to burn stuff, she can use spectral jolt to trigger things as well. Let's immediately look at our companion's abilities here, because she has 4 abilities that we want to level up. So she has an ability that heals with her attacks, and she has a dedicated healing ability. I think at least 2 levels in this. Healing by 50% of your max health is really good. And then the damage reduction also is really good. The knockback, not so much. The healing by small amounts. So the various different types here can be useful. The revitalize is probably the most useful, if depending upon how you're utilizing your godlike abilities. We have a specific godlike ability that allows us to revive our companions, but if you're going for the damaging godlike ability to use that instead, then revitalize can help bring them back up. She also has a barrier, which is actually quite nice, and this is where we're going to be focusing. Her acceleration for move speed and attack speed is also really nice. It's like a haste type of thing. And putting the acceleration or the evade tactics on it to gain damage reduction goes really well with the damage reduction that you get from essence shielding. And both of those can stack on top of each other. I think barrier is more useful just because of the amount of temporary hit points that you get. I'm going to put a point into that. And here, I'm going to increase the amount of it. Okay, and now we're going to take the opportunity to explore Fior, and I'm going to start that from the beacon at the gate. So again, we're going to do this systematically, so we're going to start working our way around the right side all the way, and then concentrate on the middle after we've done that. Now on the right side here, there's not a whole lot to deal with at the start. And there's no way to get up any farther toward most of this.
Darling, look! Isn't my new vase just beautiful?
Ah, beautiful indeed. Its very presence brings out the color of your eyes. But is it not too similar to the other artifacts you've collected over the years?
The artifacts have been here longer than you, my love. And here, they'll stay.
So now we see the encounter with Yatsli again.
Did you still need something, dearie? Well, when a man and a woman love each other very much...
That's probably enough detail for now. I am sure the envoy can use their imagination.
Oh, I couldn't help myself. The joke was right there, my love. The short answer is that I moved in here with Quilici several decades ago, and he's yet to tire of me.
Ugh, I could never grow tired of you, but I do often grow tired with you. The distinction is important.
Music to my ears. We'll speak later then.
Okay, we can do a little searching in here. And there's some journals that'll give you some clues about things that are happening here. In the town, there's also some food that we can pick up.
Oh, she is brave, as always.
And a lot of these things are leading you back to Naku, Tedek, and that's where we're going to end up going here. That's why we came here in the first place. We'll come back and check on that. Another journal entry. And it takes you out to the front balcony. Now there's nowhere you can, well, you can jump over there, but there's another way to get there. But we can go it. It's a kind of a tricky jump, but not too horrible. Okay, and we weren't going to do the middle section yet, but there is a section up here on top you can search. Yes, we can search the center rooftop here. And then worry about the lower areas as we patrol around here. But once you're up here, this is the extent of where you can go. There's nothing else around here that I'm aware of. This is the easier way to get up here. Is just to jump from here. Okay, but here also. And we got a chest here. This door leads you out the back and you can't get up here from the stairs. They're all clogged off. Okay, and that'll conclude everything up here. So now let's go talk about this quest here.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts. and even the Dream Scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger.
You give the dead too much credit. They don't want or need anything, except rest.
The dead of Fior expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry.
Are you volunteering us to hang out in a graveyard?
Oh, if you would, that would simply be wonderful. I wouldn't know how to thank you. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything.
I say this with love, but stealing from the living to help the dead is beyond nonsensical.
I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. Of course. I follow a Valian tradition that teaches that the journey back to the cycle is a long and perilous one. Bareth appears as the usher to guide souls into the next life, but those who lose their way risk the ire of the Pallid Knight. We offer food to the recently dead to still their minds and give them something to offer should the Knight demand her toll. Causing it? Maybe not, but their anguish beckons to it, calls it to them, and unleashes it on the living nearby. The dead's anger is like a spiritual earthquake, driving all things out of balance. This simple sacrifice brings them peace. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fior, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I believe it will do exactly that. The spirits will find closure and rest, and the living can move on from this recent tragedy. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits lash out blindly. I cannot predict what awaits you at these graves.
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp. We should help the living and let the dead rest.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Okay, so this tasks you, the quest here is Elder Offerings, and it tasks you with visiting those grave sites. You can also speak to the grain merchant about the stolen food, and that will give you an option to just turn the food back in and end the quest. You will miss out on the quest reward from Rosanna, but it is a way to do it. You can also talk to the grain merchant and then pay for the food so that they can buy more food to replace it and then still continue with the quest. But we're going to be doing that quest a little bit later. It causes you to range all the way across the entire map here And we're not interested in doing that right this second.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising, though.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Be patient. He hasn't steered us wrong before.
Okay, we'll get the lockbox. And there's nothing else to explore here. So we're going to keep making our way around, but we're going to quickly look in here. Okay, so we'll make our way up here, and this is the direction that you can't get to when you're jumping across all of up there. Like you were earlier, you can't get up that back way there. Again, we're not doing the inside yet. We're going to stick to the outside. Okay, so we have a party spot here. No way to get into it yet. We've already been up here a little bit. And we can enter into the Vidaro family mansion now. He's opened the door. We need a bedroom key. We could unlock it with lockpicks, but we can get the bedroom key. Food here on the table we can take.
By tradition, the governor's manor is open to the public.
Okay, well, we will take that as an invitation. Okay, some more quest journals. Or journal entries, sorry. Okay, and somebody is speaking badly about Giatta, and that has kind of poisoned his responses about her and kind of led to her getting kicked out. So this isn't entirely her fault about this, and let's talk to him about it.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giatta is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times.
I'm right here, you know.
How could I forget? Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Iverno. I believe the nature of the living lands is unpredictable, and animancy is our best chance at getting it under control. But what Giatta wishes to do is more dangerous by far than what she's trying to solve. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him.
Among other things.
Every community has a voice of dissent. Ours just happens to be very, very loud.
Maybe if you had listened to me, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Giatta, please, give me one day of rest, and then you can put my shortcomings on display as long as it amuses you.
Our governor is very well spoken for a man with his head up his ass.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run. The Steel Grotto? Here? Well, well. Apparently nature is not the only foe in Emerald Stair. Worse, my rangers turned a blind eye to it. Satisfy my curiosity. Why am I hearing this from the Adiran envoy? Don't you and the Steel Grotto share the same master? I'm glad you recognize the difference. Take this with my gratitude. And let us pray this is the last we've seen of the Steel Grotto. What a disgrace. Among other things, the Stilgarot persecute animancers. They love nothing more than to unravel everything we've built here. Tell me, what's your interest in this matter?
I'm gonna take this. There's also an achievement for requesting payment a few times.
At least you're honest about it. I'll be sure to have a word with Captain Iverno about our security. I appreciate the warning. If more Adirians were like you, maybe we wouldn't have to worry about the Stilgarot. The short answer is yes, I'm aware. And I've tolerated it, up to a point.
So you tolerate her eccentricities, but not mine? How is that fair?
It's not her eccentricities I tolerate, but her good intentions. We are a community of animancers. Among other things, we have a healthy respect of the dead. I have no wish to anger the departed, but then again, my first responsibility is to the living.
So you can give him the offerings here, but that will end the quest.
The dead have a strong connection to the beyond, and therefore animancy. They can make our work very, very difficult. Best not to upset them.
I hate to admit it, but he's right. There's nothing more troublesome than an angry ghost.
Will there be anything else?
So there's nothing for now, but as you continue side quests, come back here and talk to the governor more. One, it's going to give you options for more rewards, but it will also give you an opportunity to kind of update him about the status of what's going on in his city, which he needs to be aware of. Don't think there's anything back here. There's not. But you do get the bedroom key here and a unique chest. This has the Valian breastplate in it. Now the Valian breastplate is really good again for your medium armor builds, I should say. The plus 20% move speed is very nice. The plus 2% damage reduction is also really nice. The one additional damage reduction is not all that great. I think that should have been more something like 5 or something like that to make this thing really good. I'm just going to stash it in my camp for now. We also need to look at something else. We got the letter from Eloe. Now you remember Eloe was our informant from the rebels in Paradise. Okay, so we were an unusual conversation at the embassy, and this is where you mentioned the Waterfall garrison is already crowded enough and more are on the way. This letter helps alert you if you have converted her to a spy way back in Paradise, which we did. And then you talk to the governor, or you go through Giatta's thing at the start, then you will get this letter, and this will tip you off about the Stilgarot garrison behind the waterfall. Now, we've already dealt with it, but this is the in-game hint that it is there. So now we can head back down here and go to the bedroom.
I've got a powerful feeling we weren't supposed to see this.
So this is what happened to Estelle. Poor thing. I had no idea she was even sick. I hope it's not the Dream Scourge.
It certainly looks like it.
Try not to involve yourself in our affairs. I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over. That is not a topic for discussion.
Why are you turning us away? Does she need help? Medicine?
My mother needs peace and quiet. Nothing more.
But Ignacy...
I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
So
We'll be revisiting
Besides,
this
we have other
later
things
on.
to worry about.
But for now, we can head back downstairs. Let's do a little cleaning. And continue exploring the city here. Okay, this is another gate exit to get out on the east side of the city, I think, or on the west side of the city. Leads out to the north. We've already talked to the merchant here, but we might as well see if we can sell anything else.
Welcome back. Care to take a look?
So all of these common things we're not going to need. The fine quality stuff we can break down for highly used talent, but the exceptional stuff, we can break down. This one for white steel chunks. Again, we're not going to be needing white steel chunks because we're not going to be upgrading any of our melee weapons like this, so we can just sell this off. And it's worth quite a bit of gold. Now, lodestone, we've talked about it before. It's a really good one-handed melee weapon. We're just not going that way. And we have hardwood branches here, too. I think I'm just going to hold off on those. We'll break down the fine dagger here. Sell the iron gauntlets. I think that's it. Okay, we've already done our explorations inside the Animenser laboratory. And there's nowhere to get up anywhere or anything like that.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
Again, we're not going to focus on the inside yet. And this was Giatta's house that we've already explored pretty thoroughly, I believe. Maybe we haven't. Looks like we haven't. That beetle jerky is actually going to be very useful. But there is another way to reach her place, and that's by going up on the roof and jumping back across here. Now I can make my way to a couple of different locations here. Pick this up, and then up here, we want to make our way up to this roof. And there's a backpack up here. Okay, and that's all I can reach up here from this. Oh, forgot about the egg. I don't No. Oh, I don't think I've ever been up here. Oh, wow. Never been up here. Found this new. There's a chest up here, too. Have to come back and get this in my personal plate. Well, actually, I can't. Because I played this much differently in my personal playthrough. Because I wanted to see how it plays out here versus our personal one. So this city has been destroyed in my personal playthrough. I intentionally let the steel garrote survive.
Truly wonderful.
And as such, they destroy this city.
Self-aware.
We kind of briefly touched on that.
Insight, you say?
When we discussed what was happening behind the waterfall with the steel garrote. But yeah, I let them destroy the city so I can see how things play out. There's a dramatic difference in how Giatta responds to that. But like I say, I'm anxious to let it play out.
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. Is that understood, Giatta?
The Magpie is my second home. I would never disrespect your establishment.
We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice.
Welcome, ma'am. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here for the stream. I appreciate it.
Hey, I had a lot on my mind.
Indeed. There is a reason I prefer to keep the doors closed. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Their anxiety keeps me in business. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years. The fields have been unproductive of late, and what grows has not risen to our standard.
See what I mean? The dream scourge is everywhere.
Take this in the spirit in which it is intended, but I hope you are wrong.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come. Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen. Among other things, it told my father the recipe for a blueberry tart. Popular item, until the recent troubles. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are. Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief.
So here you have access to the War Mage's bracers, and this should be the last piece of the War Mage's set that you're missing. I'm going to pick up some of the raw Bleedhorn milk, and there's a reason for that. Okay, but the War Mage's bracers give you a 15% shock damage bonus and then minus 10 ability essence cost, so really good for your casters to have. So we were continuing around this way. And like I say, feel free to read through these. Some of them will have clues about side quest locations. Some of them will just have more lore. I don't spend time showing them up there. People can always pause if they would like and read them themselves.
We should do something about the Dream Scourge. Not simply wait for it to pass.
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
Okay, and now here we are back at the beginning, where we started. So now let's look at the interior areas here. We already know about the bounty board. Okay, we've already talked to the vendor in here, I believe, but I don't think we've searched. We haven't. Okay, now we have a honest Emil. He's obviously another one of those fake snake oil salesman vendors that we're seeing pop up all over the place.
I am not accustomed to failure.
Ugh. It's okay. We'll try again.
But it's the third time.
You know how it is. Their standards are impossible. It isn't personal.
Of course it's personal. It's the Animonster's workshop.
Maybe we need some feedback on our proposal.
Using essence to cure male flaccidity is uncharted territory. I'm sure of our thesis.
Excellent. That bodes well, but I'm still not convinced. Perhaps our proposal title wasn't clever enough? What do you think of this? Boning without bones, essence and the performativity of male anatomy.
Consider this. From stick to stone, using essence to augment male performance. That's brilliant, huh? Simply brilliant.
We've done it again.
Wait until they read this. The days of packing rope are at an end.
Rather interesting conversation being had by a couple of animancers there. And their rejection letter from the Animancers Workshop. Yeah, I guess Animancers are working on using Essence for a whole lot of things here in the city. To each their own. We'll continue working our way around the inside here. We've already been on the rooftops. Okay, so nothing else in this center spot. Now we're back where we started. So that takes care of the first central spot here. We're going to be making our way into the second one.
This will be so very useful back home.
Okay, a healing potion here. Always good to have more of those because they get used in crafting recipes for food as well.
I had one job, and I couldn't even do that. Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Praise Ilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... I think they know each other very well.
Passion is good for the soul. Except when it gets you killed. Then it's very, very bad.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and Melena's father and I were comrades in arms years ago. When she enlisted, I swore I'd try to keep her safe. That was all. I couldn't even do that. God's sakes! They're not deer. They're just a pair of lovesick fools. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
And that's going to start the Missing Rangers quest. There's more to this quest than
Maybe we don't look
meets
too
the
soon.
eye, and
Give 'em a
you learn
while.
more about it as
Know
you
what I mean?
make your way through the quest.
Pour you a drink.
And that talks more about the love letter between the two of them.
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming, leave Emerald stare.
And the animancers are useless. You heard them arguing out there.
Mindless academics.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's animancers for you. Except Giatta and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night.
I'm going to lie here again just to get my lying numbers up.
And there's not much I could do if the rumors are real. That's the worst part about it. Although I admit Fior is in a bad way. Dream Scourge or not, we've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? What are you fixing to know? I opened the place after my brother cut me out of the family business years ago. I opened the Bone and Boar for all the customers he found undesirable. The rough types.
So his brother is in charge of the tea house, if you notice the last names.
I suppose when you put it that way. My parents were the first owners of the gifted magpie. Mom was an animancer, and the pa wasn't. They fought constantly. Because of that, my brother Hector hates conflict. It's ruined the magpie's business. I've tried many times to talk sense into that head of his, but Hector, he's stubborn. Visit the magpie and talk to him. You'll see what I mean. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
And here we have another place to buy lockpicks. We only need one to get us back up to 50. But there is some Bleathorn cheese wedges in here, which you can use for a crafting recipe. And there's rice wine if you're out running around all over the place. The plus 20% maximum stamina is nice, but we can also craft that ourselves.
Envoy.
Okay, so continuing our way around the inside here. And back where we were. Okay, so we have fully explored the city of Fior now, and the main quest line is taking us to Naku Tedek. So if we go back out to the Emerald Stair, it's taking us down into this area here. We have another quest down here for finding the cartographer, and that's where we're going to go today. We're not going to go into the Ancient Soil quest. That's, again, if you have not killed the Steel Garrote, that becomes a point of no return quest. And we have some other things that we want to do out here, but we wanted to get access to all of this area through the main quest line, and that's what we've done. So we can actually, I believe, go back here to the ancient grotto. Actually, we might not be able to. Let's go to the party camp. We need to have some conversations anyway, and this is just going to be a fast travel point for us anyway. But everybody does want to talk to us, I believe. So let's check our upgrades and see where we are. So we don't have any petrified wood or any Admess wort here. We will break this down. We got plenty. We got Stelgar leather, and we need 2 Admess wort to be able to upgrade the Blackwing. So let's see if we have enough to craft 2, and we do. We have plenty. So now we can upgrade the Blackwing. So one last trick, we need 6 petrified wood branches, and that's going to be the problem, I think. Oh, we can craft 7. So we need 6. And then we need 4 Admess wort. That will get us a damage upgrade. 10% damage upgrade on one last trick. And do we have enough for 4 more petrified wood branches? We do not. Let's see, how many of these we can craft up? Just 1. So we can craft 2 more Awakened Adra here, so we might as well do that. And we can craft 1 more branch, but the Disappointer's going to need 3 more petrified wood branches. We can craft the 2 Admess work, but it doesn't really matter. Don't have enough for the petrified wood branches to upgrade the Disappointer again. And that will get everybody at 3+1, but not really a big deal that they're not there. And we shouldn't have anything that still needs to be upgraded. We've already done all of our enchanting on our weapons.
I hope no one minds. I may...
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giatta didn't draw blood.
What can I say? I do my best work under pressure.
Believe me, I meant that as a compliment.
Not to mention willfully obtuse.
Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
Agreed.
I'm with you both. And Giatta. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giatta's situation.
Right. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this probably isn't how you wanted to start a new adventure, but we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Kai. The circumstances could be better, but it helps to be among friends.
Anytime.
I wish you could have seen
Okay,
them
so that's
stare
Kai.
in better times. Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Iverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Believe me, that's plenty. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? A little bit of trouble in moderation can be good for the soul. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What's on your mind?
Hey, and you can have some conversation.
Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret. I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating.
And we've already been there. She's going to give you hints about various locations.
You too.
That was one of our bounty targets.
I met this Animancer one time.
I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal, a traitor to Fior Iverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. I'm glad you think so. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Iverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Pleasant dreams.
Okay, and she probably has, yep, one more.
Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsley reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Until next time.
Oh, she does have one more.
Know any ghost stories? What do you want to know?
So, again, bunch of stuff here that you can talk through.
Pleasant dreams.
We don't need to do any of it in particular. I'll do it off stream.
Hard to imagine what Giatta's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams.
Okay, so let's...
Let me
do some cooking here. And again, the black broth is what we want to focus on. I can up that to 2. Okay, so that's it. The ivory spinner. That should be good. Oh, and grog. We want to craft many of those as we can, and now we'll need to create more charming libations to replace them. Because that uses charming libations. How many does this craft? This crafts 2. I don't need to craft that many. So now we should be half and half with those.
And that is why Adra and Copper are the only...
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject? Not before I've done some reading.
Okay, and that's gonna be it.
Where did you learn to hunt?
We'll exit here. And you now have a companion selection screen whenever you leave camp.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe. They flower. They will never fade. Is the acorn not beloved of the oak? We merely ponder. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
And all of these conversations are just further enforcing the epilogue. And you'll see that a little bit later. So now we are here in Naku Tedek. So let's go and do some exploring here. Because again, we're not going to be following the main quest here. So here at this side, we're going to have some options. The bridge is there. We do have some exploring that we can do around the outskirts here. I think we've already been this way. I think we already looked around that, but we'll go check. Be very careful with the drop downs. Before we do that, because I think there's a soap rock around here or something. Trying to get out of here, and I didn't make it in time. Oh, there's the hit reg again.
That's done? Who's hungry?
We'll head down there here in a second. Let's finish searching. And here is a body with a unique, the civilizing influence. So this has minus 4% damage from beasts, primordials, and wilders. So if you know you're going into that type of encounter, you can prepare by changing over to that ring. It's not something I tend to focus on very much, is optimizing my damage reduction like that, but it is available to you. Okay, so we've kind of worked our way around the outside here. There's nothing else out here. But we'll continue around the outside. There's one more thing over here, I believe. Yeah.
Well, there are worse places to go.
Because this is the missing cartographer. Okay, so now we can complete that quest whenever we head back. Oh, jeez. So Brock got me again. Maybe that was the soap rock I was thinking of. We'll have to do that fight again against the specters. Should have quick saved again before that. Oh no, it saved here. Oh, because of the quest completion, the quest item pickup. Good. And I'll try this jump from a bit farther out.
Quiet as a soul.
I want the priest first.
One for you! Coming from your right!
Ouch.
Don't you die on me!
Okay, so I definitely need some heals here. And we are definitely going to get some healing from purification as well. That was pretty close.
Never had a chance. Good shooting, Kai.
I need to be paying a little more attention to the difficulty level of the enemies before I jump into things. Wasn't really as prepared for that fight as I should have been. So level 3, so we'll concentrate on the bulwark this time.
Good one!
Priest.
Everyone okay?
And we'll head back this way. Okay, so nothing out here, and I can't remember if I can get around this or not. We'll drop a save. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anything out here. Nothing up there. Okay, and this is why we came this direction. We have a unique chest here. That has the wolf gloves. So the wolf gloves offer a plus 1% critical hit chance and plus 2 dexterity. So they're similar with the plus 2 dexterity that we used to get from the Blackwing boots. The Tranton family Greaves is what we're using instead, and I should be dodging more. Just I'm not used to it, and I need to learn to do it more. But that dodge distance is really, really useful. Let's get both of them.
Like a blade in the dark.
Close enough together for one last trick to register. Okay, and there's a way to get all the way down to the beach again, down here. It's another way up to this area. I don't think. Oh, maybe I can get up here. Nope, soap rocks. Yep, not gonna play with that. Okay, we will go. Auto save. That was too close. I don't think there's anything down here, but we're gonna go exploring a little bit. Okay, nothing else down there. You can see you can follow the way down to get down to the beach from here. Okay, now if you look at a map, we've completely gone around the exterior of Naku Tedek. We've got a couple of more things that we want to explore down this way. This is the main entrance, the main way in that you would normally use when you get here the first time. And down here you can see that we have a body. And I'm not entirely sure about this either. I don't think I've been over here in my personal playthrough. This looks like Soap Rock Death, but yeah, it doesn't look like it goes anywhere. Yep. Okay, almost died there. Now, how do I get back? Okay, we can get there. And now we're back up here at the start of the bridge again. Okay, we have a little house over here we can explore, and this house has a rune on it, so if you follow the cord, it heads inside. I can never remember where this is. I think it's there, I just can't see it because it's in the dark. Oh, no, it's not. I remember where it is. It's up here. You just have to make the jump. And again, it's letting you know that Giatta has a spectral jolt, but we don't need it. We can trigger it ourselves. We do have something up there to explore that we'll go look at here in a second. But we'll continue working our way around the outside here. Whoops.
Coming in hot.
And here's the way that we came up originally. Remember that? Is. Follow the cord. Okay, and again, the original way that we came up. Don't think there's anything down on this side. There's not. We do have that body up there that we saw previously from down below. So I don't think there's anything up here except the additional way to get up to the top. Yeah, there's not. Okay, now this one...
One of your machines shocked me. I wasn't even anywhere near it.
No, I think it's here. There was, oh, there's a, no, there's another way in from up top. That's right. Okay, and this is the one I think where I hate the jump. If I'm right. Yeah, because I think this is the one where I hate this jump. Where I think you have to get over there, but the jump is a little stupid. It's so brocky. Yep. Oops. Because you kind of have to land on that little thing there. Yep. And then try and jump your way up there. So it's a tricky little jump to make. Try it a couple more times. There it is. Now what's even worse is making the jump there. Let me make sure I'm at the right spot. Because it's been a really long time since I did this. Okay, maybe I just remember the hard jump and then realizing I don't need to do it. Maybe that's why I was upset about it. Because I don't think there's another way in here. Yeah, there's not. Because this, I believe you had to get in from the top. Because, yeah, there's where you come down, or maybe that's a way up instead. Now I honestly can't remember. Because I was just on top of that and there was nothing up there. And this one, there's something inside of it. Oh, there's a way in. So I'll have to try and remember how to get in through that door over there.
Oh, hey, it's you. Oh, my favorite customer. Here to peruse my wares, I hope?
So we do need to look and see how much awakened Adra. We have 5. We need 1 more. To get 6. So then we can craft that up to corrupted Adra. And we just used 3 lockpicks. And the War Mage's Robe. We talked about this last week. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to get into...
Could we not
this
Just
building because honestly I can't
the
remember.
machines out of the way.
If you touch
It might be
any
part of the
equipment,
main
the
quest line.
magnetic
That might
polarity
be
will rip your soul apart.
something that we
Magnetic
get
polarity?
into
You made that up.
when we're part
Even
of
if I did,
this
you couldn't
inside
prove it.
Naku Tedek.
Now, get out of the way.
But let's keep exploring around here real quick. So we've been across the bridge. That's where we went previously. And here we have a unique backpack. Got Awakened Adra in it, so I'm gonna go buy that other Awakened Adra from her. That means that way we're only going to be one short from being able to craft up 3 corrupted.
Aw, hey.
And we got a lockbox up here. I think that's it that's up here. Okay, so we'll go down here and we'll head around to the left. Got a dead body outside of this. There. And I think, well, we might not have gone down this way. I thought we did, though. Yeah, I think we did. I think we did go down this way. That's another way. It takes you all the way down to the river. But I think we already did go down that way. And this is going to take us around the backside and again all the way down to the shore. So up here, we have a couple of fire starters here.
Aye, aye. Stand back.
Okay, and this will lead you back into what we've already seen. This was into the Zorup area here that we came in from down below, jumped across, and landed over there. This is another way to get there. The probably safer way to get here with the soap rock down there that I died on. Okay, so now inside of the Naku Tedek temple area here is the last thing to look at. We'll head up top. And just a couple of things we can pick up, including some more crafting ingredients here. I've never tried to jump over there. Oh, wow. I completely missed a unique chest in my personal playthrough. Oh, so now there's the treasure map. I was wondering where that treasure map was. Whoa, and it bugged out a little bit there. I was wondering where that treasure map was. Okay, so this is right where we just were here. In that thing there. There's an area down below it. Okay, anything else here? No. Interesting. I'll have to go back and get that. And here's the entrance to the main quest here in Naku Tedek. We're not going to be doing that today, but that's going to pretty much explore this. Now let's go look at what this map was talking about. Because I haven't found this, so we'll be looking at this. Oh, this isn't here. I think I know where this is. I think I actually found this. Yeah, this is not here in Naku Tedek. I do not believe. That this is here. Yeah, because I think I know where that is. I think that's down at the Godless place. But I'll just go look here. Make sure. I mean, maybe that's it. We already found that. That's not it. Yeah, I don't think it's here. I think it's down at the Godless Ruins, but I'll go looking around the base of this thing. Yeah, I don't think this is it. Because I know what this is. There's nothing here. Yeah, well, I'll go look at it offline. and see what we can find out about that. Because, yeah, I didn't collect that in my personal playthrough, so... Don't know if I have a way back up here or not. Maybe around this side. Probably want to save just in case I hit a soap rock out here somewhere. Okay, so I do have a way back up. Okay, so I need to take just a second. There's something that just showed up at my door, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I always have my meals for the week delivered on Sunday, and they always seem to come in during the live stream, so... Okay, so now we've explored Naku Tedek here. Again, we're not going to do Ancient Soil yet. We're going to go and continue exploring into this area and take care of another bounty while we're out here doing it. So let's head over to the bridge.
Naku
And
Tedek
we'll
is a place of
across
spiritual power. We're sure to find the answers we seek.
Why do they
into
call
the
it
wilds
that
here
anyway?
again.
Good question. It means ancient soil. Naku Tedek was old when these lands were.
Okay,
and
so
were
let's
young.
kind of stick to the
godless
edge here
built around
first.
Adra pillars. Maybe they've felt a deeper connection to the spirit world. My friend Yatzli is a scholar of the goddess. She could tell us more.
Am I overburdened? No. Why am I moving so slow? Okay, so we'll explore the river here.
Not bad, envoy.
Okay, so we're gonna take some food here. Tasted beast. Black broth.
Here we go! To the left!
Giatta got a kill there. Nice. dead. Be dead from damage over time.
Another glorious battle.
And here we have the ancient grotto. Now, I believe we've already... Well, we might not have been here. So let's spend a bit of our time here going through this if we haven't been here. Looks like we haven't.
I thought I had explored all of Emerald Stair, but this is new to me.
But we're gonna find a piece of the Skane totem in here. But there are multiple ways to maneuver your way around here. Oh, now I know why I'm moving so slow. My caps lock was on. And this is Vidaro's journal.
Vidaro, the governor's father. He's been missing, gods, 10 years now?
So he was here all along.
Okay, so we're gonna take the Ring of the Founder, which has 10% damage against enemies with full health. So this is where you can really maximize the damage on that first sneak attack that you're giving out. And I'm actually going to change this here so that that first strike that I give off is an alpha strike and I can more likely kill one-shot that enemy. You also pick up the next
that looks like a piece
totem
of the
fragment.
thing you were fiddling with at camp.
Okay, and that's where we just were. Now we'll head up this way.
Here it comes.
No swimming, and no drinking for that matter.
Okay, and I think we're gonna come back to this area. Nope, this is the way we need to go. So the water damages you here. Let's see if there's other explorations to do. I don't think there is. No, there's not.
Unseen, unheard.
And here's old Nuna.
Remember the Stranglehold. Be quiet.
Definitely want to focus her and get rid of her. Where did they go? Okay, and they're going to come in waves. Hit ridge.
Next one's mine.
Okay,
Who's
so that
next?
was well
Anyone?
played. We did that before our black broth ran out, which was the intention. Okay, so there's a couple things we can do here. So this area will lead you around and to the other entrance to the grotto. It will also lead you into another area that we're going to go explore here. This one doesn't have anything. So we also need to get up top over there. But we can also pick up old Nuna's paw here. And this is a bounty. So let's go up top first. There's 2 epic chests here. That's it up here. Yes, it is. Okay, this side passage here is dumb for me to run up there. Should have looked for a trap first. And then one more thing out of this room. A place to get your breath back and pick up a lockbox. Okay, and this brings you out above the entrance we came in at. Here's the entrance. Again, the different directions at the start. So I think we've fully explored it all now. So yeah, I'm fine going back out this way. So we'll head down here towards this dead end for a couple of crafting ingredients. There's some copper skate here. And here is another chest. I believe that is everything now for down here. So we can start to make our way back up. Along the way, we'll pick that up. That will take you back up to Naku Tedek. Over there, you can see that pathway that leads you all the way back up around the outside. Okay, so we can take the beacon back up to the top. And keep exploring out here toward this direction. There's the bridge. Over here. And this I want to look at as well. This kind of looks like that picture in the map as well. Doesn't appear to be it. Okay, and we're gonna kind of crisscross some of this here. These are all level 2s. Shouldn't be a big deal.
They never saw you coming.
This one's mine.
Let's get the Tempest. Oh, hit Reg. Come on, hit him. I think I can reset the hit reg
just like the good old
by having my companions land an attack. But I need to experiment with it some more to verify it. We're gonna sneak up here. Get the high ground for this.
Quiet as the depths.
Never had a chance.
He's probably gonna die. He did. So lower tiered enemies, definitely not worried about. Got another group over around the corner.
Clean kill.
It's like a truck. The body ended up all the way over there. There he is. Lead your targets.
That'll show him.
Okay, so that worked out pretty well. There's another dead body over there. Here. Okay, so let's take a look at where we are on the map here. So we can go open up this camp here for a fast travel point. Around the back, you can climb up here, I believe, to grab the eye, and you're not done. For Magrin's Blessing at the top. And just be careful when you're jumping down so you don't fall all the way down to the bottom, or else you'll take fall damage. Thing also kind of looks like the ruins from the map. There would be a river down below it. I didn't see anything around this though, because it does kind of look like the map. The river down below and this thing up here, it's kind of been cut off at a slant. So this one doesn't look like it's cut off at a slant. I don't think that one's it. Okay, so we are going to be getting close here to another bounty target. We're definitely going to do that as well. As soon as we crisscross a little bit here. We'll get the fast travel point. And we got another group of enemies over here. See if I can get into cover here or not. Yeah, can. So a bunch of spiders. These are all level 3. So how about we... wait for him to get close.
Quick and quiet.
Is that all you got? They're coming for the Queen. Take her out.
Ooh, that hurt. Nice. Well played. Back in here, you're gonna find a few bodies to search. And around the back as well. I think this one you have to jump to. Yep, it's from over here. Now you can see where we are again, up here next to the homestead that was on the way up to the where the Trantons or the Tranters were. So we'll start working our way back toward the east. Don't want to fall off there. And we're slowly working our way up toward that bounty target. It's going to be up there underneath that tree.
High ground. The ruins' natural defenses. Good place to post up.
Hey, but there is a ranger outpost here that we can take a look at.
There's simply not enough. I hope the hunters come back soon. There's simply not enough. I hope the hunters come back soon.
And it's basically a big treehouse.
I'm not afraid of heights, but I am afraid of death, and therefore heights.
Do I feel bad about taking their rations? No, I don't. They should have marked it as steel. They didn't want me to take it. And we're gonna have some fine quality weapons in here, mixed in with some common level stuff. And some grenades.
Gods above! I knew I left my rations in the tent before patrol, and now they're gone. As soon as I find out who took them, they'll be sorry. I was looking forward to those rations too.
And we'll keep working our way up here to the top.
Any port in a storm, or shrine. Wonder if Helia answered them.
Well, I was certainly not expecting such a distinguished guest at my humble outpost here. Some heads up would have been nice. We have signal fires for a reason, you know. Besides the usual encroaching wilds and angry primordials, you mean? Well, there are the Trantons. Or there were. We have you to thank for that, don't we?
And that dialogue will change, depending upon whether or not you have already fought them. I'm just going to get my lie count up.
Never mind then. Now, I really must be returning to my duties. Safe travels to you.
It's really a clue to lead you over to the Trantons if you haven't been there before. But up here at the top, now I'm encumbered. Don't need the scale.
I'm going to miss this place.
Like that wind's glitched through the barrel. And here we have an ancient memory.
We have been here before. The distant winds breathe soft across your skin too. Cold fog pools in a valley, dripping down from the hips of the mountains. The haze obscures a murder. They strike against each other. Sparks skitter along blades and light two faces in the dark. Now, our memory is a wound, reopened. It didn't have to die. Twin stars fall through night and collide beside the sea. Nekad and Enhekala, the arc of one bright light obliterates the other. You are Enhekala, a Tabaru Sinakis. You speak for the garden, and for us, the gardener. You have not seen Nekad for 10 years on the day you come to blows. Which memory of him is true? Things were good between you for a time. But who was Nekad to us in Hekala? Help us to remember. Nekad, your stalwart protector. Before the elders came to take you from each other, he defended you against the world. He would hurt anyone for you. Even the Tabaru Sinakis, who was to be your mentor. Nekad nearly beat him into the dust. Did you feel safe with him? You learned fear from him. He taught us too. What did Nekad learn from us?
You should both have been afraid. There was a disaster. In a temper, we did something terrible. Many of our people died. It was why you built it. Naku Tedek. But in Hekala, what did we do? The rock slide took a village with it. We recall a shard of memory. We were battered, weightless. The earth gave way beneath our feet. We were left to fall alone. There was no time to scream. We looked with horror upon what we had done. How could you bear to speak to us? We twisted beneath the brand of your forgiveness. It burned us to know you never expected better. After the crisis passed, the people wailed in agony. Did the dead forever wander the nothing of the in-between? You proposed an easy road for their souls to travel on, Naku Tedek, where you returned the dying to the Adra and their bodies to the soil. Hiding, seeking, finding, revealing. We should like that to be our way. Yet Nagad, your brother, opposed Naku Tedek's construction with his every breath and word. How could he despise your mission? We do not remember why. Preserving the old ways was the hinge Nagad's life turned upon. Without his purpose, he would have been lost for how to live. Your brother, Nagad, was a story keeper, and our people's stories say that your souls are wild things. Your souls leave your bodies and run free across the land to enter death and return to life in their own time. So it has been, and so Nagad believed it should always be. Why did you betray him? Trust, faith, willingness to concede that others might know best. This is what preoccupied you. We remember now. When he finally saw Naku Tedek and understood what you had built, what did Nagad do? You threatened him with violence. He wept and begged to know why you stole true reincarnation from the people. His tears shone. He did not wait for you to answer. He pulled a knife from his belt. The torchlight flickered on the steel. He held it to your throat. What did you do in Hekala when your brother threatened your life? We remember. Steel on steel. A spurt of blood. A sound of pain. He shuddered. He could not catch his breath. Could he have been wrong? One more thing in Hekala. What did you feel as you died? He planted a tree near Naku Tedek to remember you by. As it grew, we learned that we should not pass judgment, but observe. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
You're gathering a lot of hints about the voice throughout all of this, and this is going to unlock a new godlike ability. So this is for your casters. This is a passive. It increases your maximum essence by 10%. However, it's not just necessarily for that. We use our entanglement quite a bit. And this gives us more ability to be able to do that. This is passive. You don't have to activate it. And that's going to get us real close to 12, to level 12. And we'll get it as soon as we clear this bounty here. And this is going to be the last thing that we do today. We're going to clear this bounty, then we're going to go turn it in. And you're also picking up, like I say, some clues about what's been happening here and who the voice is. If you've been paying attention, you've noticed that all the main characters here are godlike. And the voice has interactions with all of them as the godlike. So it should be starting to put some hints together, some clues together for you here about who the voice is. Okay, now for this we are definitely going to take some food. And we're also going to get rid of, or we're going to add in the civilizing influence. Because these are wilders here. So we want a basted beast. They're going to try and poison us, so we're going to take a grog. We're going to take an ivory spinner and a black broth. Get that big damage off to start.
Couldn't have done it better.
Get wrecked. Okay, we need the grave tender here.
You won't get
Giatta cast her barrier.
That was a close one.
That, or I guess level 13. It got us real close to level 13. Okay, so now we'll pick up all the Delemgen parts here, all the heads. And before we loot these, I should go back to... Oh no, it's already on. And this is the... Vindictive. So let's see. So get rid of a couple of these. Should be fine again. There's a bunch of deployables around here that you can shoot. To help speed this encounter along. We just don't need them with all these buffs that we have. Oh, this is here. Okay, so now let's head back to, well, let's look at our map. Okay, you see we've got one bounty left out here, but for now let's head back to Fior. And we'll turn these bounties in. And that should be the end of the episode today.
Welcome back. You are here to collect a bounty, huh? Whose death am I recording? Impressive. I wonder if my theory about her is correct. You would know, wouldn't you? Interesting. Here's hoping I get to prove to study the flow of essence into the region's fauna after all this is done. If only we could find a way to coexist with them. But I suppose it is in their nature to oppose innovation. Huh? Nature?
Leave wordplay to the chanters. And don't give up your day job.
Perfecto. Return when you have more to claim.
Okay, so we're going to complete both of those bounties. And then what we're going to end up doing is getting ready to claim the last one here next week. And we're going to head out to the east side now, so that we're in position to start this up next week. And so we'll just head up north over here. Oh, and we do have unspent ability points. Forgot. So here, looking at Ranger, we now have the ability to unlock Quick Switch. And this is where this build really starts to come online. You see me swapping weapons quite a bit. And that's because it's muscle memory. It hasn't really been doing a whole lot now. And I've been kind of fighting against that muscle memory to keep a certain weapon loadout out. But in the future, you're now going to see me really take advantage of this, because now guns in my inactive loadout reload automatically after 3 seconds. So what you do is you fire your main weapon, you immediately switch, put it away, you fire once with the new weapon, you reload it, you fire again with that weapon, and you don't reload it. You immediately switch back to your main weapon, and it's automatically reloaded for you. So basically what you're doing is you're getting off 2 shots for 1 reload. And you keep doing that, alternating 2 shots, a switch, 2 shots, a switch, 2 shots, and a switch, and you can double your DPS that way. And that's where this really starts to play in if you're playing the gun or the firearm based build here. So that's how we're going to finish out our build. And we're just going to kind of make our way over here and get ready for more exploration next week. We can see we've got some enemies on the map that we'll be able to try it out with. So we will drop a save here. And that will bring us to the end of the episode. As always, I want to thank all of you for being here today. I love the interactions with my community, because as always, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Joel saying until next time, fare thee well.